Hi everyone! Summer is finally here. And speaking of summer, there are two things that I love to do during summer. Number one, I like to go to the beach. And number two, I like to watch summer movies. So, in this video, I will share with you my top 5 favorite summer movies of all time. And when I say summer movies, I mean movies that have either a summer theme or are set in the summer, or at least the look and feel looks like summer. So it could be set at the beach or things like that. So here you go. Let's start with number 5, Mamma Mia. So I'm referring to the 2008 movie version featuring none other than Meryl Streep, and also featuring Amanda Seyfried, Pierce Brosnan, Colin Firth, and Stellan Skarsgård. So this movie is a musical, and it features songs from ABBA like Dancing Queen, and of course Mamma Mia, Money Money Money, and so much more. It's so fun. So the story, it's set in Greece, in the island of Greece. So it's very summery. It's musical. There's lots of songs. It's a story about a bride-to-be played by Amanda Seyfried, and she's looking for her real father. And there's three men that could be one. One of them could be her father. Three men from her mom's life in the past could be her real father. So played by those three guys that I mentioned. So what to like about Mamma Mia? As I've said, it has Meryl, beautiful performance. It's very energetic and lively. There's music from ABBA. I love ABBA. My dad loves ABBA, so I was like 6 years old. I was listening to ABBA already. So, and then, who doesn't want to see movies set at the beach? It's beautiful Greece islands. It's really speaking summer with a capital S. So that's my number 5. So next up on my list at number 4 is I Know What You Did Last Summer. So this is a slasher film back in the 90s. It came out in 1997, and it had Jennifer Love Hewitt, Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, and Ryan Phillip. Is it Philip or Philippe? So basically the story is about 4 friends that are bound by a tragic accident. They get reunited basically after being stalked by a hook-wielding maniac. So if you love slasher films, this one is for you. But also, since this is a summer themed, it's very much in the title, I Know What You Did Last Summer. There's a lot of summer elements. A little trivia, the movie itself was set in Southport, North Carolina. North Carolina is where I live. I've been to Southport. It's an amazing place. It's a local, basically tradition. It's a gem. Whenever they talk about I Know What You Did Last Summer in Southport, everyone knows what we're talking about. So, the beauty pageant scene, the parade scene, the 4th of July scene, they were all filmed in Southport, North Carolina. So that's a little trivia for you. So what else do I like about this movie? It's on my list because I guess because it's a different genre. The one genre I had previously was a musical, and this one is more like a horror / thriller / slasher. And it's really funny also. Like, come to think of it, I don't know, it's kind of like maybe my weird sense of humor. But my favorite part of the movie, I think there are 2 parts. Number 1 was Jennifer Love Hewitt. I just thought that when she was screaming out into the void and saying, "What do you want from me? What do you want from me?" Okay, Jennifer Love Hewitt, that was my girl back in the 90s. And then the other scene that I love is with Sarah Michelle Gellar. It's probably one of the best chase scenes in a slasher genre. So when the killer was chasing her, and it started in, I think it was at her sister's place, where there were a lot of clothes. I think it was a store, yeah. And then, basically amid the 4th of July fireworks, it was classic in my mind. It was dramatic, and it was pretty fun, I guess, to watch. Because it's a movie, okay? So there you go. Oh, I forgot the third one also. I also like the part with Ryan Phillippe's demise when he was on the balcony during the beauty pageant scene. I thought that was also pretty, great how they did it. So there you go. Number 4 on my list is I Know What You Did Last Summer. All right, number 3, Wet Hot American Summer. So a summer movie list wouldn't be complete without a movie about camps. So this movie came out in 2001 and it's about a group of camp counselors. Actually, the movie was set in the 80s, but a lot of you probably have seen this. It has a lot of amazing celebrities and performers. So it has Janine Garofalo, David Hyde. I have to look at the list because there's a lot of them. Janine Garofalo, David Hyde Pierce, Paul Rudd, Chris Maloney, who's hilarious in this movie, Molly Shannon, who else? Ken Marino, Amy Poehler, Elizabeth Banks, and Bradley Cooper. So, it's a comedy. It's pretty raunchy. It's about summer camp. It's perfect for summer, right? It has a summer scene. It's a comedy. I think it's really interesting topic, a lot of relationship and also sex, but in a comedic way. So it's pretty raunchy. My favorite part, aside from all the performers, I think Chris Maloney was brilliant just with his comedy. He played the chef at camp. And also, of course, Bradley Cooper, this was the beginning of his career, I guess, back in 2001. And he played G.A.Y. He had a kissing and then he had a scene with Michael Ian Black. So go ahead and check it out. Wet Hot American Summer, number 3 on my list. Top 5 favorite summer movies of all time. Number 2, 500 Days of Summer. This is a movie that came out in 2009 and premiered at the Sundance Film Festival. So this is directed by Mark Webb and features Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I was saying Jonathan. Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Zooey Deschanel. So I think one reason why it's here, first of all, it's very summer themed. Also the lead character's name is Summer. But it's part of my list, because I just love the story. I just love also the storytelling approach that was used in this movie. It was a non-linear approach, basically going back and forth, but depicting kind of the love story between the two main characters, Tom, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and Summer, Zooey Deschanel. Although in the beginning, or at least some I think in the beginning of the film it says that this isn't a love story. But overall, it's about two people. Boy meets girl. He falls in love, but she doesn't. So I guess he was trying to kind of win her back or get the girl back. So it's an offbeat comedy. It was pegged at that time to be like the anti-rom-com. To me, I just love the whole story as a whole. I think it also has a good musical, like the soundtrack. It has like the Smiths and So I think what I like about it. First of all, it's just a beautiful story. The two performers also did really well. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I think it was a good actor, and Zooey Deschanel, and I guess it also kind of is unique on its own, especially if you look at all my movies so far that I noted in my top 5 summer movies or favorite best summer movies of all time. It has something to offer. 500 Days of Summer has something to offer. It's an offbeat comedy. It's good story. It's a good refreshing take also in terms of storytelling. So yeah, it's definitely on my my list. I was gonna say that it was pegged as not a love story, but ultimately, I think it's a story about falling in love. So yes, it may not be a love story per se, because they didn't end up together, but it's about falling in love. So that's kind of my takeaway from it. So there you go. That's number 2, 500 Days of Summer. Finally, my number 1 favorite, best for me, summer movie of all time is Call Me by Your Name. Oh my gosh. I mean, I think I talked about Call Me by Your Name in so many other videos of mine. And so if you want kind of to watch some of those videos as well, like the reviews and everything, check out my YouTube channel, check out my other videos. But, you know, just to summarize, yeah, what's, you know, what to love about Call Me by Your Name. I mean, let me just kind of summarize, right? There's Oliver, there's Elio, and I'm referring to the characters, right? Because, you know, Oliver, something happened to him, the actor, something happened to him in real life, you know. But, you know, I think because he was semi-cancelled, but I hope that they give him a chance actually to, you know, work again and really have a chance to grow and evolve and learn from his mistakes. Peaches, I mean, Crema, Italy, 1983, all the soundtrack, all the beautiful scenery and cinematography, it really screams summer. You know, just being in Europe, right? Like Italy. You know, what else? It's a beautiful, heartbreaking story. You know, it's not just an LGBTQ story. Ultimately, it's a story. Some of them happen to be LGBTQ characters, right? But, you know, of course, this was also the beginning of Timothée Chalamet's career, even though he's done movies in the past, you know, before this. But that was also the beginning for me of being a fan. So definitely, Timothy is there. What else? You know, it's based on a book also by Andre Aciman. And then what else? Director Luca Guadagnino, a brilliant director. Just, you know, he's such a visionary, and yeah, it just brings me so many memories. All the wonderful scenes from the movie, like when Elio was dancing and he was wearing blue. Well, I'm wearing orange today. What else? You know, like the flirtation scene when Oliver was trying to massage Elio's shoulder, and then, you know, the scene in the heart of Crema, you know, with the bicycle and everything. I mean, I've watched the movie like, I don't know, 10 times or something. You know, the famous, my one other favorite there was actually Michael Stolberg's monologue when he was talking to Elio, and, you know, Elio at that point was really being emotional because he knew that whatever he was having with Oliver at the time was about to end. And the line, it was a long monologue, I don't have it memorized, or not anymore at least, but the last line was, "But to make yourself feel nothing, so as not to feel anything. What a waste." Ah, that's just beautiful. And the tagline, "Is it better to speak or die?" I mean, it's so profound, right? Like, you know, why don't you, I ask you, try to go in front of the mirror and ask yourself, is it better to speak or die? I mean, it's always better to speak, of course, in my opinion, but I thought it was just so profound and moving and deep. And the biggest highlight, as you know, I've already mentioned so many other scenes. I mean, Timothy for me was like, you know, like the best part of this movie. Just the way he captured the emotion, and we've all been there, right? We've all been there. We were like Elio at some point, like when he was like coming back to Crema, and he was riding with his mom, and how he was just so hurt and emotional because Oliver was gone, like he left. And then the ending, you know, the last scene in front of the fireplace. Go check out my video right now. I actually recreated that film because I am an aspiring filmmaker. So check out my mini short film. You know, I was just testing different scenes, but Life in NC, I replicated and I kind of copied that. I kind of replicated that scene, and yeah, it's all the feels, right? And then you got music. Like, I can tell you, I have listened to the soundtrack like 100 times, and sometimes I just see myself staring into the void, or you know, like thinking and just wondering. I mean, it's you know, if you want to be dramatic, right? So, but anyway, there you go, my top 5 favorite summer movies of all time. I hope you like this video, and please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again next time. Bye. Happy summer, everyone.